Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how you can refine any trading strategy and increase its win rate tremendously using this 3 steps blueprint, right? So I had several questions of how I refine my strategy, how I come up with filters to know how to identify A+ setups from B+ setups, right? And this is the exact approach that I use here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that to any strategy, to any style of trading, right? In the next video, I'm going to give you my own filters, how I refined my strategy. My strategy relies heavily on market structure and liquidity sweeps. So if that is your style, the next video is going to be important to you, right? So let's talk about refining a trading strategy. There is fine-tuning and there is refining, right? Fine-tuning is about experimenting parameters, right? Adding parameters, removing parameters, right? Conditions to your plan. See if the results will get better or worse, and then decide whether you want to keep that new parameter or remove it and test something else. Now, refining is more about adding filters, or let's say, for example, your strategy offers, I don't know, like 5 setups per day on the 1 minute time frame. So refining is about filtering out the mediocre setups and leaving only the A+ setups, right? By adding filters. So here you're gonna analyze the losing trades, okay? So without any further introductions, let's get into step 1, okay? So step 1, what is it? So the first step is you want to identify what's not working, okay? So basically you're gonna write down the specific instances where your strategy often fails, okay? Be as detailed as possible. If you analyze your journal, you analyze your losses, or you can rely on your experience and memory. If you don't have a journal, you will notice that there is a pattern between your losses. It can be one pattern, several patterns. So this is what you want to identify here, the patterns. Let's say, for example, whenever I take a trade against a trend, I end up losing. That's one simple instance where my strategy doesn't perform well, right? Whatever strategy you're using, I'm sure you're going to find more specific instances, but this one is simple. So here, what I'm going to write is that whenever I try to reverse a trend and take a counter trend trade, or trying to trade a pullback where the market is clearly trending, my strategy often fails, okay? So that's one filter. Again, you can write whatever you want based on your trading strategy. Now, the next step, moving on to the next step, and again, here you're going to identify multiple instances, okay? It's not going to be only one. You want to extract all the filters of your strategy. Now, moving on to the next step is you want to understand the logic behind failures, okay? So for each failure instance, right here, for each instance where your strategy often fails, you want to identify or to understand the logic of why it fails right here. So instead of remembering that as a pattern, whenever you see this formation, I'm not going to take a trade. This right here can work, but if you are for some reason emotional during the trading session, your mind will override that filter, because it is simply a rule that you do not understand, right? But when you understand that, it will help you mentally accept these patterns, right, as traps or weak setups. So an example can be something like this. Let's forget our first example about reversing the trend. Let's do another example. Let's say that we have an expansion leg like this, and price took an old high. So we broke above an old high. Now, do you think that it is better to trade this once price return back to the old high? Do you think that this is a good area to buy? Even if you found your setup right here, even if you find your entry pattern, do you think that this is a good idea to trade? No, of course not. Why is that? The market doesn't move like this. The market moves like this. We have an expansion, and then we have a pullback, right? Another expansion, pullback, another expansion. We rarely see this happen. Expansion, taking an old high, and then a pullback, small pullback right here, right? And then seeing another expansion. Small pullback and then seeing another expansion. A lot of time you're going to see a deeper, healthy pullback. Now moving on to the third step, which is quite simple. All you have to do now is to visualize that filter, a visual representation of that filter, because you want to keep these filters in front of you, especially at first, right? Until you get used to it. So for each filter, right? Here you had the filter, now you understand that filter, why you shouldn't take that formation or that trade. Create a visual representation of the price action that led to failures, include a simple drawing or sketch of the formation, and with a short description at the top explaining what's happening. So basically, it's going to be something like this. So let's say, for example, you have identified and extracted 6 filters of your strategy. What you want to do is here, you want to draw that filter here, okay? Let's say, for example, you don't try to sell from here because this can be just a pullback to the previous zone. This is one filter, so you don't take the trade here, okay? This is an instance where you shouldn't take the trade. And here you want to write a short description of it. So avoid taking trades against the trend or market structure shift against the trend, especially when price is reacting from a previous area and now it's starting to trade higher, okay? So this is one example. It's not the best one, but in the next video, I'm going to show you all my filters about my own strategy. And if you are a DTFX student, right, or even an SMT student, I'm pretty sure that you will find it useful, okay? So you do the same for all your filters right here, right? Draw the formation of price that you want to avoid and take a screenshot, okay, and print it out or leave it in another screen, because now you're not gonna do the mental work every single time you see a setup. You're not gonna rely on your experience. You're not gonna rely on your memory, whether you should take this trade, whether you should not take it. All you have to do is to look at this filter site here, and if your trade looks like one of these 6, you simply don't take it, okay? If not, of course, take the trade. So a simple if and else function. So this way you are automating your trading process, okay? So I believe that this is the end of this video. It was quite a simple one, right? Nothing complicated in here. And again, in the next video, I'm going to share with you my own refinements. Now, if you have any questions, please DM me in my Twitter account or leave a comment down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.